Guys, Nike just fired their CEO and things are going to change massively. We're going to be getting a second Jordan 1 Lost and Found. Travis Scott Jordan release calendar is disappointing. Welcome to Sneaky Sunday. Let's get into a release recap, starting off with an absolute shocker. The Jordan 1 Low Mocha is sitting in an entire size run, every single pair. I did not see that coming at all. If you picked up a pair, they are solid. I got mine. I'm rocking them very regularly. Let me know if you picked a pair up. A pair that definitely did not sit is the Nike SB Visti or the Verdi collaboration. These dunks dropped on the 20th and of course flew off. Apparently they were the most limited dunks of the entire year. So if you got them, massive W. Now don't lie about this one down in the comment section. Who went ahead and picked up these things? Who picked up the New Balance loafers? And finally the Bad Bunny Adidas Gazelle dropped. This was the black and white colorway. Let me know if you picked a pair of these up. But let's get into this upcoming stuff because we've got some massive stuff ahead of us. So let's kick it off with a little release that's right around the corner, kind of half drop. The Ma Maniere Air Jordan 4. So obviously it had the Ma Maniere website release. I didn't even bother with that because I just know that shipping here to the UK is going to be ridiculous. So let me know if you picked a pair up from their website. However, if you missed out or if you were waiting like I am, they are going to have another release, which we just now have confirmed for the 26th of September. Now this is confirmed because the Nike Sneakers app currently has the entire clothing collection loaded up for the 26th. Hoodies 175 I think is a bit too much. Either way, all of this stuff along with the Fords is going to be dropping through the Nike Sneakers app, a bunch of different retailers on the 26th. So if you were waiting for that, I think it's a solid pair of Fords to pick up. The very next day, just a little reminder, the Nocta Nike Hot Step 2 Triple Black is going to be dropping. That's the 27th of September. We're not going to spend too much time on these because we keep talking about it, keep reminding you guys, so just wanted to quickly update you. Let's keep it moving. The biggest release has to be the Jordan 1 Travis Scott Medium Olive, which is going to be dropping on September the 28th. So this is now confirmed and we now have a look at the full clothing collection that's going to be coming along with this. We'll take a look at that in a second, but we also of course have the official images. Here they are. It's a solid pair of ones. I assume most of you guys are going to be going for these things anyway. You get a bunch of extra laces. Nice. You know, this is kind of like the OG Travis Scott Jordan 1 box. OG as in like since the reverse mochas. But let's take a look at some of this clothing because we have not seen this just yet. It's a bit basic. You got this jacket, 3/4 zip, and it looks to be like some kind of canvas material. You got a tee with the Air Jordan branding on the back. You've got some socks, and of course you have the shoes, some more t-shirts, a hoodie which actually looks pretty nice. I like that color. It's kind of like a washed black. This is the reverse side of the jacket. Still pretty, I mean, it's not bad. It's just, you know, kind of basic. Another hoodie in a slightly yellow color, so no olive stuff, which is pretty strange. But there you go. That is what we know of right now as all of the clothing that's going to drop along with this. Everything is going to sell out most likely, but at least this is going to be your saving grace. At least we know that this is going to be a high stock release, as in high stock for a Travis Scott collaboration. So here we have all of the stock numbers for all of the previous Travis Scott Jordan 1 lows. You can kind of see, you know, how quick did your L come in on all of the other ones compared to what we're going to be getting for the medium olives. So the most limited being the originals, only at 30,000, and then the most common up until now has been the canary yellows or the Elkins colorway. Something to note, they are quoting the medium olives at 150,000, but like I said, I have heard that it's a little bit more than that, not significantly, just a little bit closer to 200k. The rumor is that this should be your best chance at getting a pair of Jordan 1 Low Travis Scotts, but we'll see. I still think everybody's going to be after these things. Maybe the resale price isn't going to be as bad as some of the other colorways. Let me know what you think of the Travis Scott Jordan 1 Low Medium Olives down in the comment section. Are you going to be trying to go for them? But let's keep it moving. We've got some more September releases I want to remind you guys and tell you guys about. First one being the 3D printed Adidas Climber Mock. So this is a September 28th release. This one's pretty interesting. I mean, we've been speaking about it for a while. Suddenly they just like blew up on my Instagram Explore page. Like it seems like Adidas was doing a bunch of sponsorships with a bunch of people, getting them to talk about these shoes. They did not reach out to me, I assume because they know I'll actually test these things out. I just feel like I've tested so many 3D printed shoes out and I wonder how these are going to stack up to that. Either way, maybe I'll take a look at them in the future. I'll try and go for them, but I'm not going to be too pressed if I don't get them. Let me know what you think of these down in the comment section. I think well done Adidas for trying something new. But again, if you do like them, September the 28th, apparently they're pretty limited. Now this one's really strange. So the Wu-Tang Nike Dunk High, this one is supposed to be dropping at some point. Like the original leak and rumor was that they were going to drop in September. However, we're kind of getting close to the end of the month now. It's the 22nd. Where are they? Not entirely sure. So we're just going to have to wait and see. see, but just know that we do have promo images from the Wu-Tang Clan and the Nike sportswear account. We also have official images of these things. We've now got some on-foot looks, which is the latest update. Let me know what you think about this. The leather does look decent. It's an upgrade from a standard Nike Dunk High. I think it's a solid pair to have, like, all these years later, considering the history of this pair of shoes. If you are like a Nike collector or just a sneaker collector in general, this could be a banger to have in your collection. I know that there's going to be a ton of hype for these things, but in terms of a release date, all we have as of right now is like they're dropping sometime this fall, this holiday season, but the release dates are still saying September, so keep your eyes peeled. Of course, if there's any updates, I'll update you guys. Right, a couple updates for next month's releases, which I want to quickly run through. So the first one is we now have official images of the Air Jordan 1 High Satin Shadow. These are now going to be dropping on October the 6th, I believe. So let me know if you're after these things. I don't imagine that many people are going to be, you know, trying to go out and grab these things. Just note that, hey, if the Mocha Lows are sitting, these are 100% going to be sitting hard. Next one is another pair of Jordan 1 Lows. This one's happening on the 5th of October. So this is the PSG Air Jordan 1 Low. You've got like that gradient little red to white on the toe box, which looks cool. Other than that, it's a pretty understated pair of Jordan 1s. Pretty plain. You got the Paris branding on the insoles and of course the tongue. You got a nice little Paris keychain, and it looks to be made out of like the AJKO type material where it's going to be maybe a little bit satiny. You got a little embroidery around the eyelets, which also reminds me of the AJKOs. It's gonna be a little bit of a different one. So this one's really interesting. So Nike turnaround was like, okay, listen, the people are not interested in the regular Nike Dunk Lows. How about let's drastically change it? Let's put a second Nike swoosh on there. That'll get the people going, right? So we got the double Nike swoosh Nike Dunk Low, which is gonna be dropping at some point this holiday season. And the first pair does look pretty just extra Nike swoosh, and that is about it. You got a little bit of extra branding on the tongue or like some kind of, you know, change up in that department, but the rest of the sneaker does just look to be like a regular pair. Maybe the material is now suede instead of regular leather, but other than that, this is pretty par for the course. I just thought it was so hilarious that they decided to throw an extra swoosh on this thing and call it a day. But this is a great example of something that I see being a massive change for Nike, which we're not going to see stuff like this in the very near future. We'll get into that in a second. This one's pretty cool. So, you know, we've been looking at a bunch of like Halloween sneaker releases. Well, now we've got a Nike Zoom Vomero 5. This is the Spider colorway. This one's actually pretty dope. So take a look at these things. They've changed a lot of the materials, and it does have like some of that Spider DNA in it. So you've got like this web-like suede for the toe box. You've got some more web-like suede for the Nike swoosh. Same thing around kind of like the eyelets as well. The colorway is fantastic. Gray, white, black. It's super wearable, but it does have some like really interesting additions to it. So if you take a look, this is the main Spider aspect of these shoes, and that is kind of like these freaking eyeballs that you have right at the end of your laces. A little bit creepy, but hey, if you love spiders, you may love these things, or if you hate spiders, you may hate these things. Somebody with arachnophobia, let me know down in the comment section how you're feeling about these. But I think the coolest part is that they glow in the dark. Another very fitting thing for like a Halloween release. This is a dope pair. This is a fun, cool pair. Glad they're dropping these. Again, release date just at some point in October. All right, let's talk about Supreme and Jordan Brand. So it's been a couple weeks now where the leaks and rumors have really been building up, where we know we're going to be getting a Supreme and Jordan Brand collaboration. However, what we're getting as part of this collab is still a little bit, we don't really know. So here's some of the stuff that we know is going to be dropping. This is a full winter collection, so it literally could be any week now. Now this is a partial drop list, but we know we're getting a puffer jacket, some hoodies, a track jacket, a jersey, a t-shirt, and then some accessories, probably, you know, going to be like a basketball or something like that. But the biggest thing that we don't know about this is if it's going to include sneakers or not. If it doesn't include sneakers, that would be very random for a Jordan and Supreme collab. Is a Supreme Air Jordan 17 collaboration in the works? And is it going to cost more than $300? Because $300 is the retail price of a pair of 17s. So this is kind of like a mock-up of what it potentially could look like. So according to a Supreme leaker, Supreme is going to be dropping a sneaker that is going to include a briefcase. Now, they don't specify if it's just some random Jordan sneaker that they're, you know, fancying up and throwing in a briefcase, but we do know that the most likely thing would be an Air Jordan 17 collaboration because that does come with a briefcase. And obviously we know that the Lightning 17s just dropped, so that would make a lot of sense if, you know, they bring those ones back and then they do a Supreme collaboration as well. But important to keep in mind that it could be any sneaker that they really go crazy with and include a briefcase on, so we're just gonna have to wait and see. I'd love to hear from you down in the comment section. If Supreme did a collaboration on any Jordan model, which one would you want it to be? But let's get into this Nike news because it is pretty insane and unprecedented. So if you didn't know, the current CEO of Nike is John Donahoe, and he has been getting a ton of abuse recently by so many different blog posts and articles writing full stories about him, saying how he's running this company into the ground. As you guys know, Nike's stock price plummeted during the time that John Donahoe was with the company as the CEO. However, the latest development is John Donahoe just stepped down as Nike CEO, and the person replacing him is a Nike veteran called Elliot Hill. So because his name is Elliot, I'm sure he's gonna kill it. Now, as soon as I saw this, I thought to myself, some massive changes are going to be taking place. The Nike that you know, the Nike and Jordan brand that you know of the past 4 years, that's going to take a full 180 in my opinion. So what's the big deal about John? What did he do to this company that made everybody hate him and made freaking Bloomberg write an article saying the man who made Nike uncool? Well, we kind of covered this a few weeks ago, but essentially they show a little graph and they call this the Donahoe dip. So 2020 was when John Donahoe became CEO, and as you can see, the graph spikes up when the Panda Dunk releases. Now, this is an important metric to take into account because this spike is right around the time when we started getting the retro boom. Everybody was wearing Jordan 1s, everybody was wearing Panda Dunks, everybody was wearing all of these retro Jordan models, and that's all people were interested in. And what John decided to do was lean into that 100%. They pumped out a bunch of different Jordan models, a bunch of different retro style shoes, and what that did was completely halt Nike's innovation category. They said that Donahoe took fewer risks on performance-orientated shoe lines across sports. A lot of Nike employees were also kind of upset at all of this. A couple people left the company. They said that Nike lost its swagger. They said that Nike is a mess. They said that the Nike talent today does not, in our view, hold a candle to the talent of Nike 7 years ago. So Donahoe is a veteran technology executive. So this means his real expertise was around the Nike sneakers app, and that's when we kind of all noticed this real focus on the Nike sneakers app and the sneakers that would drop on there rather than the entire catalog of Nike and Jordan brand. So he knew little about sneakers and everything about the server-side infrastructure and cloud storage elasticity. The company's most successful shoes have been some of its oldest. Donahoe flooded the market with sneakers shoppers couldn't get enough of. Nike released more Dunks, more Air Forces, and Jordan 1 models. This was stuff that was all developed over 40 years ago. It's also important to mention that because of this, Donahoe wasn't just getting complained, but he's had actual lawsuits filed against him for all of this stuff. That's at least 5 lawsuits, all related to Donahoe's alleged breach of fiduciary duties related to Nike's failed direct-to-consumer strategy and statements made that investors relied on. So yes, another big part of what John Donahoe did was focus on direct-to-consumer, selling stuff through Nike and kind of axing relationships with different retailers like Foot Locker and all of the rest of them. So yeah, not only has John Donahoe stepped down, but he also has at least 5 lawsuits all filed against him. Now there's a bunch of articles online talking about the 5 things you need to know about Nike's new CEO, Elliot Hill. There's a couple of these things that are actually good to know, but some things that are just completely ridiculous. First thing you need to know is that he started as an intern at Nike in 1988. And this is his LinkedIn profile, which shows all of the different things, sectors of Nike that he was involved in. So essentially, he has an incredible 30-year experience with Nike. He has seen them go through all of the different phases, all of the different, incredible things that they've done. He retired from the brand in 2020. Wonder if that had anything to do with John Donahoe. Now he's back. What's going to happen now that Elliot Hill is in charge? What I expect is a full 180 on what John Donahoe did. If what John was doing wasn't working, well, I assume Nike's team and Elliot in charge is going to try and reverse all of these things. So I can see a massive change in terms of the retro phase that we're in now, where every single week we're getting new Jordan releases, new Dunks, new Air Forces. I think there's going to be less of a focus on retro sneakers and more of a focus on product innovation and stuff across the entire brand. So what I think think a lot of people are talking about is how insane 2025 is supposed to be in terms of insane retro shoes that are coming back. So the SB Jordan 4, they're doing 2 new colorways, the Union Air Jordan 1 collaboration, another pair of Kobe's, which is pretty cool, some more retro shoes, the undefeated Air Jordan 4, Nike SB Air Max 95, Fragment Travis Scott. So if I had to take a stab and a guess at what Nike's going to be doing, I think next year we are going to have an insane release calendar. After that though, I think we're going to be moving out of this retro phase and into something that really is a little bit more aligned with. One of the craziest things is as soon as Nike announced that John Donahoe was stepping down and Elliot was going to replace him, their stock price surged. So anybody who bought a lot of stock when the price went down, you're winning because it shot up like 10% as soon as that information went out. It was crazy. But I would love to know what you think about all of this. Drop it down in the comment section. How do you think Nike and Jordan Brand is going to change over the next few months and year? But as crazy as that story is, I got another crazy one for you. So I don't know how many of you guys remember the James Whitner story that went down, I believe, in 2023. So here's a brief recap of what happened last year. So a civil forfeiture complaint was filed against James Whitner, owner of the sneaker retail stores like Ma Maniere, Social Status. His umbrella brand is the Whitaker Group that owns all of these retail locations. So they accused him of reselling millions of dollars worth of sneakers to Chinese nationals involved in a money laundering operation. The case centers around the $1.2 million that was seized from Whitner's friend Antoine Freeman, alleging that they used unlicensed money couriers linked to illegal activities. Now, Whitner's businesses denied all of this, but I think the key point and the big update is the fact that that $1.2 million that was seized is now something that apparently James Whitner is completely fine walking away from. So I think we can safely say, to put it super bluntly, they're alleging that he has been reselling a lot of these, the Nike and Jordan Brand collaborations to Chinese nationals. And that's what this whole money laundering scheme is generally speaking about. So yeah, that is the craziness in terms of Nike news. Let's keep it moving now. So let's talk about the second lost and found Jordan 1 that we're going to be getting. So this is pretty cool. One of the most memorable releases for a lot of us that I think just really feels very special from Nike and Jordan Brand is, of course, the Jordan 1 lost and found. We're getting another one and it's official. The Air Jordan 1 UNC is literally going to be called Lost and Found. It's going to have the same kind of makeover. It's going to have the same kind of packaging, the same kind of storyline, and it's going to be a special and massive release because I know a lot of people love the UNCs, arguably like, I don't know, one of the most popular colorways of the Jordan 1. It's coming back as an OG. Now this release is going to be happening summer 2025, more specifically April 2025. It's going to come in a full family size run, so just kind of expect a lot of the same details like the aged midsole, the crackly leather, and of course all of the special packaging. Another 2025 release, specifically spring 2025, we've got some better looks at the Riot Skate Shop Nike SB Dunk Low. This is something we took a look at on Wednesday, and this is them. Pretty regular. Nothing too crazy. Let me know what you think about these. Let's keep it moving. Skepta and Puma are dropping a pretty cool pair of shoes. So you know they did the low tops? Well, now they're coming with a mid top, which looks even more aggressive and like hiking. It's got that chunky midsole. It's still got that kind of like, you know, metallic thing on the midsole there as well. Pretty interesting. I don't know how I feel about these. Like, really depends how they look on, but I did love the low top and I thought that was a great pair of shoes. I just thought that the price tag was a little bit steep. Like, this one is going to retail for probably more than that low cut, and yeah, it's a tough ask. But yeah, this is going to be dropping at some point 2024. No specific release date, just assume sometime soon. These are official images. Right, with all of this Travis Scott news bumping around, we're getting the Travises very soon. I thought it'd be a good time to take a look at the actual release calendar for upcoming Travis Scott sneakers because it is significantly lower than we were anticipating. So you asked me this a couple months ago and I had a list of Travis Scott shoes that were dropping. Like, I think there's been at least 3 different Jordan 1 lows that have been canceled, a bunch of colorways of the Spiridon model and the Jumpman Jacks, different colorways have all been axed as well. So as of right now, for 2024 and 2025, these are all the Travis Scotts that are going to be dropping. That is it. We got the medium olives, which you know are going to be dropping in a couple days. December 21st, we're getting the velvet browns, which are not my favorite colorway at all. Apparently, we're going to be getting the Fragment Jordan 1 low collab happening fall 2025. November 13th this year, we're getting the Jumpman Jack brown colorway. It's not bad. It's pretty similar to the velvet browns, just kind of, you know, meh. Summer 2025, we're getting the, I don't know what this one's called, like the Volt green pair, something Electra green, something like that. And then Holiday 2024, we're supposed to be getting the mocha or brown colorway of the Spiridon model. And that is it. That's all we got. So I think most people are going to be looking at like the medium olives as like the priority, and then probably the fragments. And then, you know, people who like the Jumpman Jack, they may like, you know, the freaking electric green colorway, but it's looking pretty sparse, to be honest. Nigel Sylvester is still going. He is still at it. He is not giving up. So we're going to be getting apparently a third colorway of the Jordan 4 RM. This is like a sneaker model that was just basically made for him. This colorway does look pretty sick. Now, he just teased these, so it could just be like a friends and family or a sample or something like that. But who's up for more Jordan 4 RMs from Nigel Sylvester? I thought it was a phenomenal collaboration. Really, really good storytelling and idea behind it. It fit him so perfectly as well. So I'm down for more, honestly. No specific release date, just a slight tease that I thought I'd show you guys. Anybody who was foaming at the mouth for some Fortnite Crocs, it's been delayed until October. So yes, we are getting Fortnite Crocs, but it's been pushed back. I think they were supposed to drop this month. They're dropping next month. And what we know right now is that we're getting a Peely pair, and we're also getting a Battle Bus inspired one. Like, you know, how Crocs like loves doing like the automobile type things with the Lightning McQueens, the Batmans. Well, yeah, we're gonna get some kind of bus variation of that. So I think originally they were supposed to drop September 24th. However, it's now been delayed all the way up until October 29th. But that wraps it up for this week's Sneaky Sunday. Thank you so much for coming through. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. That way you can always stay updated with the latest and craziest news that we have in the sneaker world. And if you want to check out another video, all you gotta do is click that one right over there. It's a banger.